Just a few days ago, I had discussed how Disney had actually decided to edit out a scene from the Clone Wars that I personally thought was very important to the story, but apparently one sexy nose art of Padme was enough to have the scene censored, but to no one's surprise, Disney has done it yet again, removing another scene, and the reasons as to why are unclear. This was a scene that was not fully fleshed out and animated, so they cut it a long time ago, but it honestly pisses me off to see Disney literally removing a scene because bad guys are bad. So Disney censors Star Wars The Clone Wars, removes decimator death scene. The latest episode of Season 7 of the Star Wars The Clone Wars on the Rings of Curidox was just released on Disney+, and this episode removes a death sequence where the Techno Union uses their decimator to kill a local. Now, I just want to say something really quickly. I think that Season 7, or this season, of course, of The Clone Wars was anticipated by many Star Wars fans. I personally was very excited when they announced it. I have always been a fan of the Clone Wars, but I am a fan of Star Wars in general, and if you are not a fan of Star Wars, you probably won't like this show. That is why I do not understand their decisions to just remove small yet important scenes like this. It's a little sexy Padme art. We have them removing a death. They're removing these things most likely to maintain a lower age rating, but as a fan of Star Wars, I really just don't like them removing this stuff. Therefore, the more that the Clone Wars is going on and the more that Season 7 is going on, the less excited I am becoming, since they are just removing anything that could be sensitive material, which I will rant about in just a moment. But the newly released episode on Disney Plus does not contain this death sequence at all. Instead, the decimator is used to break through a number of reinforced doors that Anakin, Rex, and the Bad Batch are using as a blockade, basically saying they just removed the death and completely replaced it. Now, it is unclear why this scene was removed. If it's due to the graphic nature of the death, I find that argument baseless, given Disney Plus will more than likely host Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and it features, spoilers, a death similar in the original version of On the Wings of Curidox. Palpatine's face literally melts off as he continues to use his Force lightning against Rey. If Disney didn't want a show with evil forces and war, why did they purchase a franchise called Star Wars? It has always had the good guys and the bad guys. There has always been death and there has always been violence. These things are not new. In the TV series, there were roughly 200,000 deaths on screen. Never mind the fact that this is going on in the entire galaxy. It is the largest and most destructive war in the history of the franchise. The reason why this upsets me so much is because fans are the ones paying the price for these decisions. We are the ones losing content that in a lot of cases really does affect the story, and we lose the motives of characters and important details that may change how we view other scenes. They're also preemptively removing the scene since they think there's the possibility that people will interpret symbolism in historic events before they even release the content and be outraged. That's how worried they are of people who are probably not even fans of their damn show. I think that we can all agree that bad guys are bad, and I think that there are just some generic themes that surround bad guys that can be interpreted to resemble historic events. War is obviously real, and bad guys are real, but if you don't just release the content, then nothing will ever be released. But that is all that I had to discuss today about Disney censoring Star Wars The Clone Wars. This is episode 2 that has had content censored. Will there be a number 3? Do you think that Disney is on a censorship rampage? Do you think that these are just a few exceptions? Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and of course if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.